Referees are Aaron Gilmore, Daryl Miller, and Mark Brown.
Thank you, Chris. Want this? What? Chips or? I think it's a burger. Nah, I'm fine. Have it. I'm not going to eat it now. Well, I'll have to wait till halftime. It'll get cold. So if you want.
Ipswich fourth man. It's proudly sponsored by Ipswich, privately owned. They've been serving the community of Ipswich since 1993 and are our fourth man, major sponsor. Ipswich can provide you with a full range of financial and insurance services. They are also available to recommend a product or service that can consider the suitability for your individual needs, objectives, and financial circumstances. Give Ipswich a call today.
Where is it?
Welcome everybody to Cotton On Foundation Stadium as the Ipswich Force host the Logan Thunder in men's QBL action, presented to you by Nothing But Net Media and Live Sport Australia. I'm John Guarna. I'm joined by my broadcast partners Dan George and Dave Derwin. Guys, two teams on the opposite ends of the ladder, but this is going to be a great matchup tonight. Dan, what do you got for us?
I got a few things, Johnny, and I'm looking forward to this matchup. I agree. Both these teams are going to be desperate. Ipswich are desperate because they want to prove that they're legit, and Logan are desperate because they want to prove that they don't belong at the bottom of the table. So it should be a great matchup tonight.
Dave, what are your thoughts on this matchup tonight? Logan comes in struggling while Ipswich undefeated through 4 games.
Well, I don't want to use the do or die in round 4, but really for Logan, they need to see some big improvements. I mean, only averaging 71 points offensively this season and giving up 87 a game. That math is pretty simple. They're getting smoked the first 3 games, so they need to turn it around.
Yeah, they can't. They really seem to be struggling offensively, and they're not getting the stops defensively when they need it. What do they need to get on track here tonight?
Well, I think they need to score the basketball, number one. Secondly, I think they want to win the glass. If they can try and slow it down a little bit, get into a grind tonight, I think that's where they want to do. Win the boards, get some confidence, get some offensive boards, get some cheap buckets. And number 3 is, they got to get Cedar going. I mean, statistically, he's going okay, 10 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, but he's only shooting 26% from the floor. So somehow they need to get Mick Cedar going tonight.
And Dan, Ipswich comes in tonight 4-0. They're in 4th place statistically. They're one of 4 teams undefeated. They're at the top of the ladder. We've been tough on them, and they've been coming back at us a little bit on social media, saying you guys have to come and watch us, come have a look. We're here tonight. What are your thoughts on the Force?
Well, the first thing is you've got to give them massive credit, and I was guilty in the preseason of saying that they're probably not a contender. Well, so far they look like it, and I think the signing of Josh Dirksen, who's come back from college, he's a legit 6'9", plays inside and out. He could be the signing that puts them over the top, but I mean, I get a little bit amused that they're coming at people on social media, us and obviously the Northern guys who do a great job with their podcast. They're getting some heat too. But I'm not sure that if you're Ipswich, you've actually beaten anybody good yet. You obviously beat a really bad Gold Coast team. You've beaten Toowoomba, and obviously Rockhampton last week. So, I mean, I think if you're going to come out and talk, just act with a bit of humility. Act like you think you deserve to be 3-0 and it's not a surprise to you. And just come out and just play the game. And if you go up to Cairns and get a win, or you go to Auckland Flare and get a win, feel free to talk them. But I just want them to come out and show that they can beat the top teams and be a legitimate contender in this league.
Yeah.
Dave, you could follow up?
Yeah, no, I was going to say, Johnny, I mean, what have they been doing well? Well, they're looking after the ball. They're only averaging 10 turnovers, which is one of the league best. They're sharing the ball. They've got some, good scoring distribution, and Dirksen gives them another punch. And again, tonight, I think they just need to try and defensively limit Mitch Young, who's having a pretty good season. So if they can try and minimise that touch, it'll be really interesting to see how Post and Young go against them, because Ipswich are a little light up front, and so if I'm Coach Ruck, I'm smashing that inside all night long, points in the paint, and see how they respond.
Well, I think if Post can't dominate tonight, it's almost time for him to maybe not be on this Logan squad, because I'm concerned about them. I agree with all the things you said, Double D, but I'm just worried about their lack of point guard play. I think they really struggle to get other guys looks, and one of the reasons Cedar's shooting a poor percentage, and Mitch Young's obviously down percentage-wise on what he usually shoots to, down in the low 40s, it's because they have to work so hard for every possession.
Yeah.
There's no one that can create for anybody, and I think bringing in a Sam Johns, to me, that just takes minutes away from Tommy Amar, who's playing really well and shooting at a good clip. So, and then defensively, they can't contain Jay Washington and Toowoomba. Izzy Tueta lights them up, and then tonight, they're going to be really tested in the backcourt. Ipswich obviously have some strength there, so I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing what adjustments Coach Rucker makes, but if tonight comes up with another loss, I mean, I'd almost put Mitch Young to the 5, Tommy Marr to the 4, and go get myself a really good point guard, or else they're in trouble.
Yeah, sorry, Joe.
So I was going to add to that on the podcast from Rod and Greg Vanderjack up north, the long and short of it, they interviewed Mitch Young, and he said it himself. He goes, right at the moment, we're missing that point guard, that creative point guard that's going to help us out and run the show for us. So he's, they're aware of the situation. Whether they have someone in-house who could change that is another story.
Yeah, and again, I think it doesn't get any better. You got Jay Ralph just come back off the plane, and so that'll increase Ipswich's ability to penetrate, and he does a good job of controlling the tempo. So he didn't have a super season last year. I'm one of his biggest fans, but I think he'll admit that he wasn't great last year. So I'm really hoping that this year he can show us what we all know he can do.
Yeah, I want to add on to that. I think coming into the QBL season last year, he was over in college for the first time and didn't really see a lot of court time over in college. So that, I think, is the difference. Now, after a full season in the college system and playing consistent minutes, I expect big things out of Jason coming in here. It is going to be a challenge, though, for Coach Conlon to manage those backcourt minutes, because you look at the backcourt of Ipswich, you've got James Legan, you've got Ben Wilson, you've got Kobe Wilson, you've got Jason Ralph, you've got Luke Harvey, you've got Kyle Harvey, Luke Shelley. Those are all backcourt players. How does Coach Conlon manage that depth in the backcourt?
Well, that is a big challenge, and he's done a pretty good job of sharing the love. I mean, the lion's share of the points comes out of Harvey and Legan, but Eustace has been good. Dirksen comes in, and now you got Ralphie, who yes he wants to pass first, but equally I think he needs to keep the defense honest, and so he needs to give you 10 and 10 as well. So I think minutes will be the interesting thing, and keeping everyone happy, because then you've got good role players like Bishop and Quan, who are contributors, and you know how easy it is, Thunder, if you're not engaging the guys and they get out of the rotation a little bit, and that gets a bit chippy, and then that's bad for culture.
Yeah, and I think winning cures a lot of that as well.
Yeah.
So if they can keep the wins coming and stay hot and get another W tonight, that helps. But at points during the season, that's not going to always be there. There'll be tests like every team goes through. So you're right, you've got to keep everyone happy, and I think the great teams are the ones where everyone buys in, and Kane Bishop might play 5 minutes tonight, he might play 15, but either way, it shouldn't matter to him as long as they're heading in the right direction collectively.
And just want to mention the delay to the start here. They're changing the net on the far end of the court, so that's why we have a delay. While there is a delayed start, we'll take a look at last week and both teams' matchups. Logan was at the Brisbane Spartans. They dropped that one 75-58, and you mentioned it before, Dave. Mick Cedar struggling. He finished with 10 points. He's contributing in other places with 8 rebounds and 4 assists. We're really struggling to find his shot. Last year when Logan was at their best, Mick Cedar was a threat. He had one of his better seasons in a long time last year. It just hasn't carried over into this season. Mitch Youngyo led them last week with 24 points and 10 rebounds. But we said it again when we had them a few weeks ago. He only took 16 shots. That's 4 shots a quarter. If I'm Mitch Young and I'm the Logan Thunder, I got to get Mitch Young more than 4 shots a quarter.
Well, I think there's 2 parts to that. One is they need someone to find him looks. Because at the moment, if I'm coaching against Logan, I'm going to pack it in and not give him anything easy. So that's part of it. But the other part of it is he's just got to go get the rock too. Sometimes he's got to demand it and say, fellas, I'm in the NBL for a reason. Whether there's someone here that can create or not, I need the rock and I'll create.
Yeah.
And he can kick out of, I don't know how many assists he's averaging, but he can create from the post himself. But if I'm looking down the line and I look at my matchup, if I'm Mitch Young tonight, there's no reason he shouldn't have 15 boards at least when this is all done tonight. You've got one game for the weekend. I mean, he should be putting up 20 and 15 at a minimum against this Ipswich team, and I think Logan need him to do that if they're going to be a chance tonight.
Yeah, I think, and equally, we've seen Logan a few times. Generally speaking, they're pretty solid starters, right? And I think then somehow they forget the blueprint in quarters 2 through 4. I mean, the first quarter is everything through Young. Life's pretty simple and life's pretty good. We get good inside-outside game, and their offense flows a bit. Then we just go to, I'm not sure what happens in quarters 2 through 4, and that's where they're at. I think they've continued on some of that funk from last season. So easy to fix, I think. I mean, they've certainly got a lot of talented guys still. They just got to get it together.
And Ipswich had that nice win over Rockhampton, 114-106 here in Ipswich. The Force haven't left Ipswich yet so far this QBL season. Great win, though. They shot 50% from the field, 56% from 2, 41% from 3. Guys, 36 of their 84 attempts last week were from three-point land. You hit it at 40% clip, though. That's pretty good. Legan led the way with 28 points, 7 of 16 from 3. He also had 8 rebounds and 2 assists. Kyle Harvey also finished with 20 points. He had 5 rebounds. But how about Josh Dirksen? You talked about him, and we touched on him. And, Dan, I'm going to ask you, because you did play with Josh. He comes in, first game in the QBL, 18 points, 3 rebounds. He's a big guy. We said he's about 6'9". He was 5 of 7 from the field, 2 of 3 from 3. Is that Josh Dirksen's game? Is he a three-point shooter?
Well, he can definitely shoot the rock. And when I played with him, it was before he went to college, and he would have been, 17 years old. And I mean, he had these great big pair of legs. He could get up above the rim pretty easily, but obviously he was heading over to college, and it's great to see him come back 4 years later. His body's developed. He's probably grown a couple of inches, and he still has that inside-outside game. And, I mean, if he is not an NBL next year, he's done himself a disservice. He should be playing at a level during the QBL season that makes it impossible for him not to be in the National League come whenever that season starts, September, October. So he can shoot the ball. He's athletic. He can guard every position almost. He can create, get to the rim and finish strong. He's going to be a really tough matchup for most QBL teams.
Obviously we're waiting for the net still, but I think equally they need more Logan needs more out of Salicic. I think he was always a pretty, similar to Dirksen in some respects, pretty well heralded junior. And then again, I think he was good last year in Gold Coast. This year he hasn't really found his flow, but I think he needs to give you decent production because he's certainly capable of, again, putting in 12 a night and some dimes and some rebounds and good defense. So.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. There's a few interesting matchups. Who do you reckon gets the defensive assignment on Kyle Harvey and James Legan? Who do you see Logan matching up with those guys defensively?
Well, it'll be interesting because I think so far from what we've seen with NBN, it's been a zone fest in the QBL 2017. So it'll be interesting to see if how much man's played. I think a lot of guys, teams are zoning everyone at the moment. So that's interesting in itself.
Well, there's going to be some tough matchups, and I don't know who from Logan can guard James Legan. I mean, he's a tough cover for anybody in this league. And he started the year shooting the ball pretty well. 7 of 16, you go on one hand, far out, he took 16 threes. On the other hand, you go, he's shooting 40%. Why not get him up?
Yeah.
So he's a tough cover tonight. I don't know. I want to see who guards Josh Dirksen as well. I just think there's some tough matchups all over the floor from both ends of the court. And how are they going to match up with Mitch Young? Are they going to double on the catch? Are they going to pack it in? Are they going to play zone themselves and say to Logan, you guys haven't scored at all from the perimeter. You guys beat us from the three-point line. We're taking everything away from Mitch Young. I don't know. We're going to see what happens here, but it's going to be a great game.
Yeah, and Ipswich, one of the top highest scoring teams in the competition. Logan, when they're on, can match them shot for shot. Last week, Ipswich was in triple figures, and Rocky finished in triple figures. Do you see another 114-106 game tonight, boys?
I don't personally. I see Ipswich maybe getting 100 points, but I think if Logan's going to win, it's going to be a 85-81, bit of a grind. I'm just not sure. Unless Cedar gets red hot, or if Tommy Amar plays 35 minutes and takes 10 threes and hits 4 or 5, I just don't know if Logan have 100 points in them.
Yeah, I think, and again, I think you need to play to your strength. I don't think Logan wants to play that way. I think, you want to utilise that they've got 2 of the premier 4-5s in the league, or what I think they could be. And so I'd be trying to utilise that and maximise the points in the paint. Again, get to the foul line, get some cheap ones. I think that's where Logan really need to try and get some cheap buckets, get a bit of confidence, see the ball going through the hole, and then collectively everyone, of course, when the ball starts going, the defense, surprise, surprise, improves.
All right, well, it looks like the nets are sorted, and we're going to get set to tip. Ipswich starts out with Dirksen, Ben Wilson, James Kwan, Jared Eustace, and James Legan. And Logan's going to respond with Mitch Young, Mick Cedar, Keanu Post, Christian Salicic, and Sam Johns. Tip is up. It's won by Logan.
Some interesting digs here at the Force with the new look uniforms.
Yeah, we mentioned it in the girls' matchup. It's a great set of uniforms. I love the Carmel look from BLK. Quan with the early matchup on Young.
And playing him straight up too.
And doing a good job. Dirksen comes down with the defensive board.
Yeah, good move, and I like the intent straight away from Young, because I don't think Quan can guard him, quite frankly.
No, he can't guard him, but I guess if you're Ipswich, you say, well, just make it as hard as you possibly can and make sure that Cedar doesn't get off, Sam Johns doesn't get off. And if you can play Mitch Young straight up one-on-one, that's really going to put you in good stead.
Air ball from Dirksen. Quan knocks it out of bounds, so Logan will maintain possession. Looking a little bit tentative there to start the force. Young going to take it outside. It's a deep two. That's off. Eustace comes down with it for Ipswich. And I like Eustace as a point forward. Him and Ben Wilson have been doing a great job here early for Ipswich as Dirksen fires another long two. That's off.
Yeah, I think they're both really good combo guards that can do a lot of things. See if Salic just hits his first one. Good look.
Here goes Legan. He's on the run. Gets his feet in the paint. He's knocked away by Cedar. They're going to call Mick Cedar for a personal foul.
Well, I thought that looked clean, but he didn't object too much, so I'm guessing he did get a piece.
So baseline out of bounds here for the force.
Well, we all know Dirksen's in 10 early.
That's right.
He shot it as soon as he's caught it, basically.
Well, that's one of the interesting challenges, I think, when you want to come back and make an NBL roster like he does.
James Quan hits the first points of the night.
You don't need to come out and score 25 points on 20 shots. If your team wins, if Ipswich is top four and they're winning, people are going to look at Josh Dirksen no matter what.
Look inside. Young loses it. Quan comes up with it for Ipswich. The big man running at the basket, flips one up. He's fouled. That foul's going to go on Sam Johns. You like that play there from Quan, being aggressive. Looked like he was a little out of control, but Johns just couldn't get positioning.
Yeah, it was definitely out of control, I think. But I mean, that's what you got to do. Just take it to the rim. And I mean, Sam Johns was out of position, so why not? I think any time you're a big guy and you get the chance to put the ball on the floor, you just got to take it.
Yeah, I thought I saw Chris Cedar here supporting his brother Mick. Must be down for the BQ awards tomorrow night. A lot of QBL players in here tonight. This is the only matchup of the weekend. Quan goes 1-2. It's 3-0 early here for Ipswich. Bit of zone from the force. You got Quan and Legan at the top spots. No, switching it to man. Post has his pass tipped. It's stolen by Wilson. Quan again. Deep two is up. It's no good. Looked like it was about to fall. Nice touch pass, and Post finishes with two hands. Nice tip pass there by Salicic.
Yeah, and just because we said Logan, with that I want to play fast. I didn't say they're not capable. Again, they got some smart guys who can get out and run.
Young puts it on the deck, goes to his left and lays it in. That's too easy. Ipswich has to do a better job of denying Mitch Young position.
I'm still a fan of the DJ Johnny. They had it rolling in the women's game. Interesting choice for the men's, but we'll see how they go. They might pick their game up as the time moves on.
They're going to get Mitch Young for an offensive foul, stepping into the path of James Legan. That was really unnecessary. A lot of contact, probably a bit unnecessary. Young just trying to get in the game. He picks up a personal.
Look, that might or might not have been a foul. That's a tough one, but there was definitely contact, and it looked like he stuck his butt out a little bit. I just think if you're Mitch Young, you don't want to give the referee a chance to get you out of the game and get an early foul trouble. And he's got to stay on the floor and play big minutes tonight. So,
yep, Logan definitely needs Young on the floor if they want to win this one. Eustace puts it on the deck, goes at Cedar, and Cedar is going to pick up. That's on Cedar. That's his second personal. And you see right away, Coach Rucker goes to Tommy Amar.
Eustace with a sneaky little James Harden
under.
Throw the hand up. and again, good smart play.
Yeah, you're a big fan of Eustace's game as well. He's really talented. He's a 6'7" guard that can play inside or out.
Yeah, I just think, like we talked about last year, he's got all the tools. It's just now it comes down to the choice. If he wants to get to the next level, he's got to put the work in and have the right mentors and get the right advice, and then get to that level. Because I think he has the talent too. He's had a good start to the season as well, so that's promising.
Yeah, just another weapon for Ipswich here. Here's the trap. Quan slips over on the sign on the ground, recovers. Alley-oop pass is stolen there by Quan. And Wilson comes down with it. And then a blocking foul there on Sam Johns. That's going to be his second personal as well. Don't know if Coach Rucker is upset with the referees or his player there. But that's 5 team fouls already for Logan, 3:30 into the game.
I think it was more Sam Johns, actually, he was upset at.
I agree with you. Looking straight at him. And it's just tough for a team that's obviously struggling to find their rhythm. I mean, to put Ipswich at the penalty of 6.5 minutes left in the quarter is obviously not ideal, but anyway, it's something they're going to have to adjust to, and we'll see Sean Carroll check in a second. He brings a experienced, steadying force to the game too, so with him and Tommy Amar, hopefully Mitch Young can get some open looks and these guys can get themselves in some type of rhythm, because obviously they're struggling with it at the moment.
And just, prior to Sam picking up the foul, he just pushed the pass that wasn't really on. I think that's their 4th turnover. Well, by my check anyway, I haven't got the stats in front of me, but that's the 4th turnover already in 3.5 minutes.
And a half-court trap from Ipswich. Salicic going to fire a 3 that's off. Good rebound there from Harvey, who's just checked in. Harvey and Luke Shelley check in as well. Then they turn it over, though, on the offensive end.
It's interesting seeing Legan go to the bench so early. I would have expected with one game for the weekend, he would have logged some heavy minutes, I'm sure. Mick Conlon knows.
Alley-oop to post is finished strong with 2 hands. Good look there by Salicic.
I'm sure Conlon knows his rotations and Legan will be in soon, but
I think Coach Conlon really likes the depth of his squad, and he's been going deep. The guys haven't been playing too many minutes. Quan backing in, going to pull up over post and hits it. He's a really talented guy. Coach Conlon called him a defensive stopper, but he stepped up his offensive game in the last season. Post going right at him, though, and hooks it in.
Well, we saw how easy that was. Now, if they don't continue that until Ipswich make an adjustment.
How about Quan, though, answering on the other end with the 3?
He loves NBN, that's all I'm saying, because we did in the game last year. He did his game of the year as well.
James Quan has it going here early. Post now going at Kyle Harvey. That's a tough matchup for Harvey. Young spins baseline but steps out of bounds. I know they're going to get
Quan, yeah, for the foul.
They're going to get Quan on the foul. That's going to be James' first personal foul. That's only the first foul on Ipswich as well.
Well, they get even smaller now, so.
Yeah, Robert Manson checks in, and for the first time in 2017, the hometown hero, Jason Ralph, checks in. Looking forward to seeing Ralphie out on the court again.
You probably want to guard him because Tommy Amar's shooting the ball, I think, about 43% from 3 so far this season. Wide open.
11-10 the lead here for Ipswich. And Tommy Amar going to get called for the foul, trying to run through the screen. Actually, they're going to give that foul to Robert Manson, who just checked in. Coach Conlon doesn't like it. Manson doesn't like it either. A lot of heavy contact there at half court. Going to give that one to Manson. Young jumper is good. Better ball movement from Logan here early. Wilson loses it on the way up. Carroll recovers. Finds Salicic, who hands off to post. Post going at Manson, kicks it cross court for Salichich. The three-pointer is good. Referees are going to blow the whistle. Is that 2 or 3? That was a 2.
It's a 3
in the corner.
3, but they're giving Manson a flop warning. Hasn't had a great start to the court in the last minute.
I think the tempo is really suiting Logan too,
Yeah.
fellas.
Ipswich likes to play fast as well, but Logan is dangerous when you start getting cheering buckets with them as well. I think they called it a 2. It's 14-11 lead for Logan now. Now Ralph hands off for Manson. That's Cobby Wilson checking in. Harvey loses it on his way up. Young with the steal. Good screen from Post. Good pass from Tommy Amar, and Keanu Post has it going here early.
Well, Thunder, he heard you, and he's trying to impress you. He's had a great start.
Well, I heard he's playing, getting warmed up, ready to take him home, and he's come out and turned the ignition off on that one, fellas. He's playing ball, but, I mean, looking at his stats, he's averaging 8 and 7 on the season, not giving him a lot. I think his minutes are going to go up tonight, and he's responded really well, and if he can provide that sort of presence, obviously it helps them and try and get Logan out of this funk.
Good ball movement here. 5 on the shot clock. Harvey puts one up. That's off. Tipped around. Manson comes down with it. Here's Shelley. Cross-court pass is tipped and stolen.
Yeah, much better from Logan the last few minutes.
Young flips it up with the left hand and gets it to fall.
That's a tough. That didn't look tough, but man, left hand finish off balance like that. That's a great finish. And I mean, the team that's struggling, 0-3, Logan. The last thing you want to do is let them come on the road and get a bunch of energy and get their tails up, which is exactly what's happening at the moment.
Yeah.
I think Ipswich just have to try and that helps obviously. Ipswich just have to slow it down and start grinding it out and take the air out of the sails here because Logan are loving this tempo at the moment.
18-15, and there is a foul on the floor. They're going to get Robert Manson. He doesn't like the call. That's his second personal. And you see Dirksen and Legan getting ready to check back in for Ipswich.
I think Robbie Manson should go and get his spare pair of shoes and get rid of those pink things because he's just not having any luck at the moment. He's not a happy camper over there, but the pink shoes are doing him no favour either.
Unless there's an emergency, and then we know where he is.
Okay.
Well,
he'll be on the bench.
Get the high-vis kicks on, you know.
Salichich throws it up, tipped away, and recovered by Ipswich.
Those are the sort of turnovers that are going to kill Coach Rucker. You're playing well, you're
Legan.
up, you're on the road, you're offensive, and you're going to throw a contested in-traffic alley-oop. That kind of stuff kills you, I think, if you're Logan.
And he's done it a couple times already. And both of them were never on.
No.
Post had good position inside, but the oop wasn't there.
Yeah.
There's a timeout taken on the floor by Ipswich, so we'll take one as well. 2:30 to go in the first quarter, guys. You're watching QBL basketball presented to you by Nothing But Net Media and Live Sport Australia. Back with you here at Cotton On Stadium. There's a timeout on the floor. 2:30 to go in the first quarter. Dave, what do you see here early from the Logan Thunder that's given them that 5-point lead?
I think just a bit of composure has certainly helped them. And if they can eliminate the probably 5 or 6 silly turnovers, because all of them were really unforced errors, I think they're looking really good, well in control. Good defensively, they're looking better. They've gotten a bit of a flow here and stopped Ipswich and certainly slowed them down. So that's positive start with Johns and Cedar going to the bench, both in foul trouble.
Legan misses the first one on the season. He shoots 89%. Gets the second one to fall, though. Here's that 1-2-2 from Ipswich. Logan ready for it, though. Again, post, this time with one hand.
Well, just like a lot of 1-2-2s, it's all noise because really all they got to do is quick kick out of it, and they're scoring at will out of that 1-2-2. It's really not doing anything, not burning clock.
Leganing, except it's a two-pointer this time. I got excited. That was his first three. They're calling it Leganing now. He's buying into it, so we might as well use it, hey?
Sure.
Foul on the floor. That's on Mitch Young, spinning baseline. 5 team fouls now for Ipswich. That's going to send Mitch Young to the charity stripe. Young doing a good job from the free throw line here. 79% so far in the QBL season.
Well, this is the kind of aggression that we're after, and you know, like we said at the start, I hope it continues in quarters 2 through 4.
Logan's strength is in the post, and they're going there on each and every play. So they've been doing what we're asking. Maybe Coach Rucker has been watching our streams. Who knows? I doubt it.
Well, I think he does watch our streams, but I don't think that's where he's getting his tips from. He's obviously got a great basketball brain, having played for a long time. And when I'm happy for him, I'm happy to see him come out playing well, because it's no worse feeling in the world than when your team's not doing well and you're 0-3. But a good start. They're only up 3, fellas, so a good start doesn't mean a lot if they can't keep this rolling here.
Good double there by Dirksen. Young kicks it out. Amar's going to fire a 3. That's too strong. Ralph tips it. Carroll nearly loses it. Another possession for Logan. And a great look inside there from post to Young. Young fouled there by Legan. Really nice recognition from the big guy post. Let's give him credit where credit's due.
Yeah, nice pass inside.
Entered the game for Ipswich, number 12, Jared Houston.
Eustace going to check back in for Ipswich. Ralph going to take a seat on the bench.
Yeah, good minutes from Mr. Post, and like Thunder said in the opening round, he should be playing 8-minute quarters, Thunder, and earning his cash, and you get a little minute and a half rest at the end of each quarter is good. So
well, he's kept out of foul trouble tonight too. So he's come out playing well, got a couple of boards, finishing strong, but he's not picked up a foul, which obviously has helped. I think the first game we saw, he picked up a couple of fouls real quick.
Kobe Wilson with the three-pointer that's off. Tipped out of bounds, though, by Dirksen, so Logan has possession.
Well, Kobe's only just got back off the plane this week, just similar to Jason Ralph. So he had a good season as well, and you know, continuing to pursue his U.S. career.
Young gets it, spinning on Dirksen. Good cross-court pass. Better one from Carroll. Even better one from Amar. John's three-pointer is good, and that's the kind of ball movement we want to see from Logan.
Yeah, much better. Good extra pass from Carroll, and an even better pass from Tommy Amar. And travel. Thought he was still in the U.S. with a little sneaky couple of steps.
Yeah, he definitely walked. He's got to shrug that off. He looks confused, but definitely took an extra step. I think Ipswich have got to try and just play straight up as best they can. Mitch Young, smart enough when he's getting doubled to kick it out, and if these guys can knock down shots, you can't keep doing that. I think they've got to stay home and just try and let Josh Dirksen or whoever it is, Quan, just play straight up on Mitch Young in there, because you can't afford to let Tommy Marr or Sam Johns or these other guys get hot, or Salicic, guys who haven't been hot all season really, with the exception of Tommy Marr shooting at a good clip.
Yeah.
Kind of let those guys get off.
Ipswich doing a decent job, though, double teaming the post when Young gets a catch. But Logan's been doing a really good job passing out of that double.
Yeah, good. And again, that's I think against this scrambling, the scrambling Ipswich zone, that's what it's got to be. Quick decisions, quick inside out off that post touch, and that's where they're getting. That's where that Sam Johns three ball came from.
All right, bit of moisture on the court. Johns getting in the paint. Can't finish, but he's fouled by Eustace on his way to the bucket.
And again, we talked about it. Points in the paint, getting to the foul line, putting the Ipswich are athletic, mobile combo guards, but some of the Logan guys have got a bit of meat on them, and that's where they should be trying to exploit them too, Johnny.
Yeah, where do you see Johns at as a player? Is he a guard? Is he a forward? Is he at that kind of swing spot?
Well, he's kind of at the swing, but I'd probably challenge he's maybe not athletic enough to stay with some of the twos, but equally then he creates a mismatch down the other end as well if he can stay out of foul trouble. And again, he's just moved up here, so he's got a bit of adjustment himself.
And then Legan turns it over. They're going to say he traveled as well. So a couple little turnovers here, hurting Ipswich early. It's a 9-point lead for Logan with 30 to go in the first quarter. Coach Rucker looking to go offense here, getting Young back in, and McCedar going to check in. Cedar's in for Carroll, and Young comes in for post.
Well, they get another bucket here, and Logan will be feeling real good about themselves leading into the first quarter.
Good hands there by Ben Wilson.
About 5-second differential on the clock.
Here comes the high screen from Young. Salicic comes off it. There's Cedar. Thinks about a three. Good defense there by Eustace. Cedar floats one up. It's off. Now Harvey has it with 5 seconds to go. Jump stops. Finds Dirksen. He'll pull up for two. That's a wedgie. I love that call, the wedgie. Shout out to the starters. I'm sure they're watching too, hey, from NBA.com.
They better be.
Well, we are international broadcasters, fellas. This game goes global, so there's not a lot of NBA action on at the moment. Everyone's getting swept, so I would hope they're watching.
So 1 second to go. You got to think this is going to be at the rim here for someone. Inbounds pass knocked out of bounds by John. So again, Ipswich will inbound. They were looking to throw up a quick one. Now Coach Conlon going to take a timeout just in front of his bench with 1 second to go, guys. Put your coaching hat on, Dan. What are you drawing up for if you're Coach Conlon?
Gee, I don't know. I think every coach would have 2 or 3 possessions or offenses to go to in a situation like this, so I'm sure he's got a couple up his sleeve. I don't know. I think with 1.1 left, I'd be running some kind of play to get Josh Dirksen to the rim maybe and see if you can lob it up and let him athletically just go and get it. Either that or it's got to be a catch and shoot. Maybe for Legan going towards that deep corner, turning over his natural shoulder and just letting it fly quickly. That's one of those 2 looks is what I would expect. But
Dave, you thinking the same thing?
Yeah, I think equally as that was a big possession down the other end for Logan. If Ipswich can get a nice bucket or a 3, then they sort of stem the bleeding a little bit out of this first quarter. So it's always good around how you start, how you close quarters. Just gives everyone a little bit of momentum.
See if we could find any live stats for you. I know in the women's game they had some issues with their live stats, so we'll see if the men's have it for you. I don't think so, though, because they did say that the computer conked out that was running it. So let's see what Ipswich has, though. 1 second to go. Eustace inbounds, gets it to Dirksen. He can't catch. And the quarter is going to finish with Logan up 9, 28-19, guys. That just wasn't really run well out of that timeout. Quick thoughts before we take a quick break.
Well, I think that summarised the first quarter for me. Ipswich came out nice and strong. Kwan had a good start, and then Logan pretty much controlled the rest of it. And I mean, we talked about body language in Logan a little while ago, a couple of weeks ago, and equally Ipswich body language has gone a little bit sour too. So they'll have a little regroup here. Conlon will no doubt give them an uppercut, and then out they come to start the second quarter.
Yeah, I agree totally, and I think 28 points, if I'm Ipswich, is way too much to give up in a quarter. So offensively, you've got to trust that Legan and these guys will get it going at some point.
Yeah.
Offensively, they'll be all right. 19 points is not terrible, but you can't afford to give up 28 points to a Logan team that's been putting up 70 a game and expect to get W's on your home court. So if I'm Mickey Conlon, I'm talking all about defense right now.
All right, guys, we'll take a break, and we'll come back with the second quarter action. It's a 9-point lead for the Logan Thunder over the Ipswich Force on your QBL Game of the Week, presented to you by Nothing But Net Media and Live Sport Australia.
Well done. Once again, Jazzy spell something. Did anyone else catch that? Were they trying to spell something? Nonetheless, great job, ladies.
Back with you at Cotton On Stadium here in Ipswich. It's a 9-point lead for the Logan Thunder over the Ipswich Force. 28-19 is the score, guys. We were talking about it in our quick little break. Force coming out, they had to expect this from Logan. They definitely need to change their body language because they're getting into the referee's ears a bit, not happy with some of the calls here. That definitely can have a negative effect on you, the language and worrying about the referees.
Well, it's contagious, and I think good energy and an upbeat approach to everything, that's contagious, but equally bickering and complaining and whinging and mope, that's contagious too. And I think, okay, you shrug it off. You're 9 points down. That's not a disaster. You've got plenty of time to turn this around. Pick up your energy.
Johns with the wild one that's off, and Ipswich has it now off and running. Eustace goes to the rim, tries to hand it off for Ben Wilson. Little miscommunication there, and a turnover to start on both ends for both teams. Air ball there from Johns. Now Dirksen looking to go behind his back. He's going to step back and fire the jumper that rattles home.
Step back jumper from number 33, Joshua Dirksen.
That's just the staple in everyone's game, that step back jumper now, isn't it?
Well, it's not very custom in Australia, that's for sure. So that's something that in between game. Actually, it's a good point, John, because Salicic has missed his first couple threes, but they've been good looks. And what he hasn't gone for is a 1 or 2 dribble jump shot in the key. He's forced that next alley-oopy type play, and he's turned it over a couple times. Whereas that's exactly what he should have done.
Triple team post at the elbow will fire the jumper. It's good.
It's amazing what 4 or 5 hammer dunks does for your confidence. So if he can step out and hit that, yeah, it's a good weapon for a big player to have.
And I think that's the player that Coach Rucker thought he was getting. Post showing his full game here as Ligon steps up and fires a 3. That's long. I personally think Logan looks best when they have Sean Carroll on the floor as Cedar hits a 3 off a Carroll pass.
Well, there's no doubt about that, Johnny. And I think when we talk about a point guard in our league, we think of the Izzy Tuetas, Adam Gibsons, these guys that can score and create. That's not Sean Carroll's game, but he's smart enough to know who needs shots, and he knows that Cedar needs looks, and he knows Mitch Young needs it at certain positions, and he gets those guys open. I think that's what they've been lacking, at least in the games that I've seen so far. Just that organisation. You can see him drawing up plays here.
Cedar, good defense there by Wilson. 6 on the shot clock. Gets the screen from post, comes off it, kicks it for Young. Deep 2 is up, and that's strong.
Rebound, Brad Eustace.
Well, offensively, they look heaps better than what they did in the first week.
Great take there by Eustace. Good follow by Wilson. He can't convert. Both of them missed. Cedar up ahead to Carroll. Carroll's going to lay it up and in.
I think Mitch Young is mean-eyeing Sean Carroll. That could have been a highlight reel dunk, but
you're not happy with post 3 dunks already? You want more, Thunder?
you can never have too many.
Quan catches the floater. He's fouled by Keanu Post. So Quan's going to go to the line. Good look there from Dirksen to Quan. Big to big. You got to love the big to big action.
Well, just lazy D from Logan then. You know, it wasn't like it was a superb cut or anything. Quan just sort of waltzed in the key and no one tagged up, and just a real cheap one.
Coach Conlon going to the bench. Luke Shelley is going to check back in for James Ligon.
I think it's important that Logan doesn't get too excited with the scoreboard as well. I think they need to follow the process that's got him here, and that is through good D, transition, and they're executing offensively, and falling asleep and giving little cheap ones like that. We'll see the lead dwindle quickly.
We do have some live stats, so I'll get you the iPad going for you in a second there, Dave. 1 of 2 for Quan. It's 35-24 the lead. Great pass from Post. Good extra pass from Carroll to Cedar. 3-pointer is up. It's off. Tipped around. Young comes up with it. It's knocked out of bounds, though, by Wilson.
Yeah, good activity on the glass from Tommy Amar.
Out of bounds for Logan. Entering the game for Ipswich, number 13, Robert Manson.
Let's see if
Entering the game for Logan.
Manson has a happier time in the second quarter than he did in the first. Thunder, he's staying with the pink kicks.
He's staying loyal to him. He's also got the calf guard and the arm sleeve on, so he's got it all happening fashion-wise.
Cedar gets his feet in the paint, finds Amar, who'll fire a three. That's good for Tommy Amar. Logan's getting contributions from everyone tonight.
Yeah, never looked like missing.
Dirksen going to fire a deep three. That's good. That's a nice answer and response for Josh Dirksen.
This is the most animated I've seen Coach Rucker in the 3 years that I've been working with you guys. I mean, he knows the importance of this game, and when you're up 14, you just can't rest on your laurels at all.
Hook shot by Young is no good, but he's fouled. He's going to go to the line for a couple shots. And it looks like Young playing with a bit of passion, hey?
Yeah, I mean, this is like we talked about. We didn't dog Logan game one. They were just horrible in that second half. This is what I expect. They got a decent roster, and this is where they should be.
And I think also we see Coach Rucker really tightening the rotations, isn't he?
Well, they don't have a super deep bench either, so they kind of got 7 guys that are really going to play the bulk of the minutes, and I think they've got a really good 7. So.
And that, to me, like going deep is great, like Ipswich are doing, but I'm pretty happy playing 7, maybe 7.5 guys. It's a 40-minute game. It's not a long ball game. You got one game for the weekend. I mean, you want Mitch Young or James Leagan or these, you want them playing 33, 34 minutes at least, I think. Yeah. So, I mean, tightening the roster allows them, to get into a good rhythm. And I think we're seeing Logan get some kind of flow to their offense now, and they're obviously feeling good about themselves, and that gives them energy to go back and play hard D. When offense is good, it's pretty easy to go play defense, and I think it's working equally as badly for Ipswich. Offense is struggling, and they're struggling to defend now as well.
Dirksen blows the dunk. Now Logan off and running. He had the wide open look. Skip past Salicic. Pump fakes, leaves his feet. Great ball movement from Logan.
Big three.
You miss the dunk on one end, you give up the three on the other. That's a killer.
Yeah. I think Coach Conlon needs a timeout here.
Dirksen going to fire the three. That's good.
Great answer.
He can't hit the dunk, but he fires from deep. Young going to fire his own three. That's off. And Eustace comes down with it. Don't like that shot, do you, Dan?
I don't like it. And that's not because he can't shoot it. He can hit that shot. I think he's 0 of 6 on the season, but he can hit it. But Robbie Manson hasn't been able to guard anybody tonight. He's got 3 fouls in about 4 minutes. Take it at that dude.
And then Salicic comes down, no pass, just fires away. Eustace has an easy pass to the bucket. He lays it in, and he's fouled by Keanu Post. That's going to be Post second personal. And that's just soft defense. The seas parted for Jared Eustace. He seems surprised with it.
We can't let anyone just lay it up like that. I think you're going to foul him. Step up and foul him.
Well, he just let Manson push him around. I mean, it's
There's a timeout on the floor, guys. We'll take one as well. About 5 minutes to go here in the first half. It's an 11-point lead for Logan over Ipswich, 43-32. QBL basketball presented to you by Nothing But Net Media and Live Sport Australia. Back with you here at Cotton On Foundation Stadium in Ipswich. A timeout on the floor. 43-32 the lead for the Logan Thunder over the Ipswich Force. Dan, Logan looks really good. They really seem to be focusing on getting the ball inside to their big guys. In the second quarter, though, they're doing a lot of their damage from outside.
But they're on track to score 120 points, which is almost double what they're averaging in the first 3 games. So their offense is really clicking. And Ipswich have to find ways to junk it up and take them out of their stuff. And I think from Ipswich's point of view, like that starts with their offense too. I think they're maybe not running as well as structured sets as they ordinarily would. Logan are coming down, freelance and doing what they want. So we'll see what Mickey Conlon comes up with here, but they've got to find answers to stop this Logan offense, which has struggled all year, but has really found rhythm tonight. And give Coach Rucker credit. They've obviously had a great week at practice to be ready for tonight, knowing how bad it would be to go down 0-4.
Here's some zone from Ipswich. Cedar leaves his feet, finds an open. Johns for 3. That's off. Young offensive rebound. Can't put it back in.
Yeah, great pass from Cedar. And Johns was a good-looking shot as Legan answers with a 3 of his own.
That's a great no-look pass, too, from Jason Ralph. Looking up the court and kicks it to his wing guy. Legan saw it coming from a mile away. Johns' pass is stolen by Legan. He throws it under his own basket, though. Johns lays it in. Good hustle from Legan. Just a little brain snap there. But he answers with his 3-point shot.
Logan better get on him real quick. 2 in a row. Could easily be 5 or 6 in a row.
And Kobe Wilson gets called for the reach-in foul. The 3-point shot, guys, we say it all the time, the great equalizer. Just a few minutes ago, Logan was up double digits. The lead cut to 6.
Yeah, and you want to, and that's a kind of thing you got to limit. I mean, I don't know how you don't know to find him in trans, especially on this group where you've got Manson who's not going to shoot the 3. Jason's always going to look to pass first. So you know that the offense is going to go through Legan at the moment.
Amar getting in the paint. He's fouled on his way to the bucket. He's going to go line for a couple of shots. Legan looks like he took the brunt of that one. Foul's called there on Jason Ralph. And Tommy Amar going to go to the free throw line for the first time tonight on the season. He hasn't attempted a free throw, so you got to love the action there from Tommy Amar.
Well, just reading what the defense gave him. So, you know, Jason closed out hard and took it to the hole. Quan set for a while there, didn't he?
He sure did. Had a pretty good first quarter, too.
He had a great first quarter.
Bit of sweat on the floor.
I think he had 8 points in that first quarter. 9 points in 7.5 minutes.
3 of 4 from the field. A 3-pointer. He's a pretty talented player.
Yeah, he gives them good energy, and unfortunately, just for the Force, I mean, what they are, they're just a bit light up front, which is where some of the bigger teams are going to try and.
There's a turnover. That's just a silly play there. Kobe Wilson and Quan with the miscommunication.
It's a straight brain snap, but they are a bit lighter up front. But with the exception of Robbie Manson, almost every other player on the roster, they could almost switch everything.
Yeah.
So these bigs can get out and guard the perimeter. That allows them to be really active on defense. So we'll see if they start to really get after it intensity-wise, because they've got to find answers to stop this Logan offense. The zone's helping a little bit, but you see Mitch Young crashing the glass and earning another couple of foul shots, I think, here.
That's going to be the 15th foul on Ipswich, so it will lead to a couple Mitch Young free throw attempts. Foul called on Kobe Wilson there. Our boy Matty Gain in the house tonight, coming over the ranges. Mitch Young at the free throw line for 2 shots.
Mr. Basketball from Roma.
Mr. Roma basketball himself. Gotta love his love for the game. Doing big things over in Roma.
Absolutely.
Young goes 1 of 2, but Johns hustles and grabs the offensive rebound. Carroll smells an opportunity. It's a Selicic 3 that's long.
Rebound, Ben Wilson.
They better find Ligon in transition here. Salicic on him now.
Harvey hands off for Ralph. Now Kwan going to fire a deep two. That's off. Good defense, and they're going to call Johns for the travel.
It's a horrible call.
It's a horrible call, but it's equally as horrible offense.
Yeah.
Like what Sam Johns trying to achieve by doing that. I think he's got to stop and shoot it, or he's just got to have more purpose and intent with what he's trying to do.
Yeah. And again, just be simple, right? Kick it and dive, and like they have been doing. They've done a really good job offensively so far.
Well, your offense is flowing. Everyone's feeling good. Offense looks good. There's no need to try and reinvent the wheel, fellas. Just stay with what's been working.
Harvey trying to get on track. He's been quiet so far in the first half.
I like that Carroll can follow an instruction. And again, he just stayed home on Ligon. It's not like it's really hard to do. If he doesn't have the ball, don't let him catch it.
Let's see who they give that one to as Young fouled in the post. He give that one on James Kwan. That's his third personal. And again, Young going to go to the line for a couple free throws.
Is Rob Manson going to make it to halftime without fouling out? That is the key question.
He's got three personals.
I think Ipswich have to stop playing behind the post. They're obviously letting Mitch Young catch it.
Yeah.
When he gets deep, he takes 2 or 3 crab dribbles down, and then they come with a double team, and he's picking them apart. And now he's getting fouled. If you know that he's got the strength and he's playing really well tonight, which is great to see, don't let him catch it so easy.
Yeah.
Get him off his spots. You're going to have a really long, difficult night trying to guard him playing behind like that.
Yeah. And Post is having a good spell on the bench, so it's good that Logan can push the lead up a little bit here, and while they're giving Post some minutes on the rest.
Back to 10, the lead for Logan. Manson has it on the block with Mitch Young. Skips it over to Harvey with 7 on the shot clock. Stop and pop is off. Carroll going to settle things down, run some offense. Good ball reversal. Johns open for 3. That's too strong. Amar tips it out, though. Tommy Amar is having a great game tonight so far.
I think he's a really underrated player all over. Good shooter, good defender, and just a high IQ. I think the more minutes they can find for him, the better.
Young teardrop is no good. Excuse me, that was Johns. And then Amar picks up the cheap foul, fighting for the rebound.
Well, see, that's the challenge, right? So Johns has been ice cold from 3, and he should have shot that last one, but because now he's thinking about it, he then took it in. Admittedly, it was an okay little teardrop, but the right shot would have been shooting the first 3, which was a good rhythm jump shot. Now he's just got to shoot it. I mean, it's not great that him and Salicic are a little cold right now, but that's the good shot.
10-point lead. We're under 2 to go now here in the first half. Logan's kept the 2 big guns for Ipswich quiet in Ligon and Harvey. Eustace looking to get on track. Ligon saves it, but there's 6 on the shot clock. He's going to step up for a deep 3. That's short.
Oh, I don't know if we want.
I'm not sure Mitch Young knew who he was outletting it to there. The 4 to 5, the 4 fast break would have been ugly potentially, but
Keanu point. His name is Post, not point guard.
That's right.
Salicic for 3. That's strong again. Post tips it out, but Eustace has it.
They have been
got
strong,
numbers,
Johnny, and that's the thing. They all have looked really long, unlike that.
And Ligon, he doesn't care how many shots he misses. He's still firing away. He's got the utmost confidence.
But you know what? Every single 3-point shot that he takes, and it looks totally different. When he goes one dribble, and it's almost just to put you to sleep, one dribble on his left hand, he's up and it looks smooth. If he goes to his right hand, it just doesn't look nearly as nice. If we just watch him, even on the perimeter, he'll go one dribble left-handed, even if he doesn't move, but he just comes into this beautiful stroke. When he goes right, it just looks completely different to me. So
Yeah.
if I'm guarding him, I'm just going to overplay his left hand completely and not let him get the ball into that pocket that he loves to shoot from.
Wilson picked up a foul there, sending Cedar to the line for a couple shots.
And he certainly does get it off. I mean, against anyone. I mean, he's not that big. I mean, is he 6'2", maybe 6'3"? But
he's not big.
Yeah, he can shoot that over anyone. He's just really good footwork, really good a really good perception of space and where the defense is.
And I think as well as Logan have played, as much as we've been talking him up, I mean, they're up 8 points.
Yeah, Ipswich has done a good job this quarter to fight back.
Well,
And that's helped, obviously, with with Legan's 3 threes.
Cedar gets his feet set, flips one up. He's fouled on his way to the bucket. He's going to go back to the free throw line for a couple shots.
Well, it's just smart. I mean, they're in the bonus, so they should just be attacking. And again, if Rucker looks at the halftime stats, that should be no different in the third quarter. Try and get him in the bonus and keep attacking. And that's the cheap buckets that I think Logan's not got in the first few games.
They have gone away, though, and this is what we were talking about in the pregame. Their strength is in the post. First quarter, when they look their best, they're featuring and feeding Mitch Young, Keanu Post in the paint. Second quarter, it's been a bit more perimeter-based and a bit more dribble penetration-based.
Yeah.
Do you think that is going to help them lead to a win?
Yeah, I agree with you, and I think they've had good looks, right? I mean, they're only shooting 4 of 16 from downtown, which is not great, but they have been really good looks.
And another foul going to be called there on Manson.
Is that his fifth?
I think it's Kyle Harvey, actually.
They're going to give that one on Harvey.
Well, that's what they didn't want. They had a good second quarter.
Technical foul on Ipswich, number 13, Robert Manson.
And another one.
And he's out of the game
And he's
now.
gone.
Manson just picked up 2 technical fouls, and he's out. So he doesn't make it through the first half.
It's just one of the all-time performances that we have seen on our broadcast.
Well, was it Manson or did Harvey get up?
No, Harvey got the first foul for throwing Tommy Marr down. Then as they're gibbering away, Manson got teed up, and then he's walking off the court. He got teed up again.
So that is Manson's
he is
fifth
done.
foul.
Absolutely, he's done.
Well, you called it, Thunder.
Well, retire those shoes right now, Robbie. Those shoes have seen their last minutes of QBL action.
Well, he did it in less than 8 minutes, which is it's got to be a record.
You know what surprises me? He's not 19 years old. He's played college ball. He's played in the C-ball. He's been around the QBL. Like, at some point, you've got to have enough maturity as a player to know that this is a big game.
Yeah.
Like, your team's on a run. You're going to give up a foul.
Why?
Now Logan go back.
They get four foul shots
yeah,
now?
a minute ago it was an 8-point ball game.
Yeah.
And Logan's struggling all of a sudden. Now you foul yourself out of the game, so one, your depth is stuffed now to try and guard Post and Young in the paint, which hurts them. And then you're going to send Logan to the line to potentially put it out to a 14-point game plus possession. They get a bucket. All of a sudden you're down 16 at the half.
Yeah.
Like, it's just one of the biggest brain snaps that we've seen.
The whistles kept going from the refs. I don't know how many shots they got coming, Johnny. There's at least 4, I'm guessing. But
Well, I think there was 2 technicals called on that one.
And then
there'll be 6 because
6, yeah.
Tommy Marr got fouled. He goes to
Yeah.
the line for 2 because they're in team fouls, and then
Yeah.
you get 2 technicals. So that should be 6 shots plus possession, I think.
Well, that could hurt with a 9-point swing. They come down last possession, hit a 3, and hit all the 6. That could be massive.
Guys, I just want to take this time to remind you that this game is brought to you by Nothing But Net Media and Live Sport Australia. We are showcasing Australian sport online for you. If you haven't done so already, please visit our Live Sport Australia Facebook page and give us a like. We're featuring Big V basketball in the QBL Game of the Week each and every week. And make sure you also check out the Nothing But Net Media Facebook page and give us a like as well.
I think he could have just beaten my boy Aaron Harding's record. I reckon Asa fouled out in a Pirate game one day, and in about 11 minutes.
But did he do it by getting 2 technicals to close the first half?
No, he just
takes
got
the cake.
beasted by I think a Rockhampton import at the time, and
Well, I tell you what, though,
but
Logan
Manson's
are
got
not
the record.
capitalising. Logan have left a couple of points on the foul line here.
7.
1 of 4.
That's no good. So not as bad a result as they expected. So it was only 4 free throw attempts.
You know what'll happen? They'll go 1 of 4 at the foul line. They'll probably miss here, and Leakin comes down, hits a 3, and no harm done.
Well, there's no shot clock, so Logan can hold for the final shot. Mick Cedar wants a high screen from Mitch Young. He gets it, comes off of the screen with 8 seconds to go. Kane Bishop checked in. Cedar looks inside, Young wide open and flips it in. Great look by Cedar. 2 seconds. Wilson flips one up from half court. It's up. It's off just a bit to the right. And heading into the halftime break, it's a 13-point lead for Logan over Ipswich. 55-42, guys. Give us your quick thoughts. Dave, we'll start with you.
Well, I think Ipswich did a good job to get a bit of flow back in that second quarter, and Logan then regained it as we closed it out. They got it back to 4, I believe, and then now closing out at 13. They probably were, to Dan's point, lucky to sneak away with only getting 2 points out of a potential 9-point swing.
Dan, what are your thoughts of the first half of action?
Well, it's been a pretty entertaining game to watch. I don't know, I felt that maybe James Legan's shooting has kept Ipswich in it. Without him and his long-range shots, it'd be a lot uglier than it is. But I think Logan have been playing great, but they can't be too content because they're letting Ipswich hang around. So we'll see what happens. Second half's going to be a good one.
All right, guys, it is halftime. It's a 13-point lead, 55-42 for the Logan Thunder over the Ipswich Force here on Nothing But Net Media and Live Sport Australia. All right, welcome back to Cotton On Foundation Stadium here in Ipswich. It's halftime, and the Logan Thunder are up 55-42 over the Ipswich Force. Let's take a quick look at some of the halftime stats there, Dave.
Well, I think we talked about it early in the keys of the game for Ipswich was their good job of looking after the ball. So they've only averaged 10 turnovers for the first 3 games. They've got 9 already, so that's something they need to clean up in that second half. They're shooting a pretty okay clip, I guess, from the floor, 41%, but really the 7 threes is what's kept them in the game so far. Out-rebounded. Again, one of the keys for Logan was the rebounding. They're doing a good job leading the rebound +7, and themselves have only had 7 turnovers, and because they'd average a lot more than that as well. So that sort of is the gap at the moment. 13-point game, pretty open ball game right now.
It's certainly far from over. We got the entire half to go. Dan, what was your impression in the first half? I thought, for me, I liked what both teams did. I'm impressed that Ipswich is still in this one because Legan got hot there for a second, but no one else really is scoring consistently for them.
I agree totally. I'm impressed that they're still in this game too. And 13 points to some teams is a big margin, but to the Ipswich Force, when you have a James Legan and to a lesser extent Harvey, it's obviously within reach. But I guess I've been a bit surprised at a couple of things. And again, Mickey Conlon knows his team and knows what he wants to do, but I think he needs to tighten his roster a little bit as well and play these guys heavy minutes. James Legan should play 20 minutes this half, 18 at worst. I think he needs to play his main guys bigger minutes, and I'm not sure what offense they're running either. At least with Logan, we can see what they're trying to do. We can see who they're trying to get shots for and where they're trying to run it. I can't really tell what offense Ipswich are running. So we'll see if they come out with a bit more structure and try and run their guys and get some heavier minutes out of their main fellas.
Dave, when you look at those stats, what jumps out at you at the half?
Well, I just think the points off turnover, the points in the paint for Logan, with 22 points was certainly what they're after. With Post with 12 points on 6 of 7, and Mitch Young on 16, 4 of 10. So, they're doing exactly what we suggested at the start of the game. And Sean Carroll's done a good job facilitating the ball, and Tommy Amar's come off the bench with 5. Only got 5 points, but again, played really well. Good activity. Defensively was where they needed to be as well. And like we talked about, Legan's got 14 for the switch. Harvey and Eustace have got 5 each, and Dirkson's got 8 on 3 of 7. So, I think Ipswich are certainly okay, and that helps.
It sure does. James Legan picks off right where he left off, nails the 3, cuts the lead to 10.
But it's off a left-hand dribble again, fellas. It's amazing the rhythm he has when he dribbles with his left hand leading into a jump shot. He had some words for the Logan bench too, mind you.
Oh, maybe he needs that to fire himself up. Dirksen battling with Post. Now Salicic gets to the rack, lays it up and in.
There you go.
That's a good bucket there for Logan.
Well, hopefully he can see the ball going through, and then he can be a bit more confident when he's shooting the 3. I mean, they just need to go hard double here and get the ball out of his hand.
Dirksen, top of the key 3 is strong. Quan, though, comes down with it.
Good job moving the feet from the big fella.
Eustace fading away, hits it. Trading buckets here to start the second half, fellas. Music stepping up in the second half, too. Offensive foul called on Mitch Young, using that forearm to the chest.
Offensive foul on Logan, number 3, Mitch Young.
That's Young's first personal. That's the first team foul of the second half for either team.
I didn't see
Second
much
personal.
contact.
I was just going to say, I didn't see anything either, but
Who knows? Luckily, it's only I think it's his second foul.
Dirksen puts it on the deck, gets it over to Legan with 8 on the shot clock. He'll fire a deep 3. That's good. James Legan is Leganing. That's how he does. Then a foul called there on Eustace, a little over aggressive on the defense, reaching in for the pass to Sam Johns.
well, the Logan bench is talking a bit, and from my experience, watching
don't
Legan,
talk.
hey, you don't need to fire him up. because that generally gets him going.
Well,
And with respect, he's the only one keeping him in the game right now.
he's going, that's for sure. Cedar looks to answer. That's strong. And then Wilson comes down with it. He's got a 3-on-2. Pass, though, is nearly stolen. It is. Salicic comes up with it. Alley-oop for post. That's another slam dunk for the big fella.
Well, the SP combo, it's his third alley of the night for the Salicic post combo.
A little salt and pepper, baby.
A little salt and pepper.
Legan answers, though.
Now, it'll be really interesting to see, I mean, you know, what are they going to do? Are they just going to go and let him have 40? Is that what the Logan's going to do?
Well, he's about to have 40 if they don't do something.
John's runner.
Or are they going to try and do something to disrupt him?
Well, we're going to see what both teams are made of here. I mean, Logan Rowan 3 have a solid first half. Ipswich have a brain snap to end the second quarter. How are you going to come out, Logan? Are you going to come out and look like a team that's here to contend this season, or are you going to come out and fold because James Legan's hit a couple of threes? So it's a big few minutes for both squads. I just love Logan to stay with their structure. Every team makes runs. Legan's going to hit a couple of shots. Man, just stay with your stuff. Stay true to what you're trying to run, and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Good defense there by Quan. Now Legan gets free, uses the pump fake. He fires another three. That's off. That's the heat checker there.
And fellas, if we turn around at the end of the ball game and James Legan's got 40 on, I don't know, 30 or 31 shots, that's all right. Like,
Yeah.
you can't let that put you off. He's going to score because he takes a lot of shots, because for this team he has to.
Yeah. Boy, Coach Rucker would love a little bit more production from the Johns, Salicic, and on cue, I was going to say they were 1-8 before that combined, so that makes 2-9, and that just takes a bit of pressure off.
And it also, well, it helps space the floor
Yeah.
too. If Sam Johns or Tommy Marr and these guys can knock down a three, it just helps give these big guys more room to operate inside.
Well, they haven't really gone inside yet in the second half either, have they? Eustace on his way to the rim. They're going to count the bucket and the foul.
I'm not a big fan of that extraordinarily NBA continuation.
Well, he was making his move to the basket. He was fouled on his move to the bucket. No? Dan, what do you think?
I reckon it counts.
Yeah.
I reckon it counts. He's going to the rim. I don't know if he dribbled, like he got bumped, picked up his dribble. I think it's got to count. It does bring Sean Carroll into the game, though, and Sam Johns knocked down a couple of shots tonight, but I still like Tommy Marr at the 4, Mitch Young at the 5, Sean Carroll getting minutes. I think that's when Logan looked really good, but see if we see some pressure off the floor here. Dirkson's at the 5 now. We've got, obviously, post for Logan, the big fella, who's been a handful for Ipswich to handle tonight. Mitch Young still out there, but expect Ipswich to pick up the floor here and put on a bit of pressure with this much smaller lineup.
Well, it'll be interesting too. I mean, Harvey's just checked in Thunder, and he's got a -15 tonight. So, you know, I think I take the numbers with a grain of salt, but
well, the numbers
it's an
don't
interesting
lie
stat.
either.
It's an interesting stat.
I mean, what's he done?
He's 2 of 7, yeah, 5 points, 2 of 7.
He's one of those guys that if he's not scoring, he struggles to impact the game in other ways.
Yeah.
So if his shot's not fine, I think to start the season he's been scoring really well, but tonight, been a bit harder to get it going offensively. He's got to find other ways to contribute, and obviously playing great defense and rebounding the ball is one way that they need him to step up tonight.
Eustace finishes the three-point play.
And they just need to, Logan's got to get back to their bread and butter sets where they establish post down low and Mitch Young can flash.
Well, you see some pressure.
Cedars corner 3 is off. Offensive
Just too
rebound
big.
and dunk
Just too big.
Yeah.
by post.
Now they've got, Ipswich are trying this 1-2-2 press back to a little cheap half-court zone. They got to be careful not to give up too many boards inside for exactly that reason. They're small out there.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what the stat would be if we watch the game back, but certainly every time that looks like they've gone to the 1-2-2, either Logan scored or they got a really good look.
I don't like
so
it.
So it's sort of a bit of a waste of time, and it's not burning clock either. So I like the intent, but execution-wise is not great right now.
Well, it's a bit of fake hustle on the press. They're not doing it to try and get steals up the floor. They're kind of, it's a passive press, which isn't really disrupting Logan at all.
Ipswich has an opportunity to cut the lead. It's back to 9 for Logan. Dirksen fading away, banks it home. That's a tough shot there for Josh Dirksen.
Yeah, good read from Dirksen.
That is not what we want
Yeah.
to see from Logan.
Coach Rucker doesn't like it either.
And Rucker gives it to him, and rightfully so.
Good look inside. Wilson with the seal. And Coach Rucker is going to take a timeout. He's not happy with his troops, fellas, and he's got every right to. Wilson got great position inside.
I love that Ruck's firing up because he's acting like he's 0-3, and so he should be.
I love it too. We usually see him sitting there, not getting upset and not getting too excited either. He's just very consistent in his body language, but he's pissed, and he should be pissed.
Yeah.
The boys looking for their first win, guys. They were up in double figures. It's down to 5 here. Ipswich not really doing too much different defensively. Again, I'm going to say it because it's been a pattern what we've seen from Logan, going away from the post entry. Ipswich has done a better job. They're double teaming every time it happens, but Logan has to do a better job of moving the ball out of it and staying with it, I think, because that's when they've looked their best tonight.
Well, we saw Coach Rucker yell at Sean Carroll, move the ball as he comes into that timeout. And we saw Ipswich do the same thing in the first half. They would double the post after a couple of dribbles. They're doing the same thing, but the difference is Logan were kicking it out, making 2 or 3 extra passes and then getting to the rim or an open shot. Now we're kicking it out to nothing. We're not really achieving anything. So Logan have to get back to running that system where they move the ball, make Ipswich play 15, 16 seconds of defense. And if you're going to double, we're going to hurt you with penetration from someone else. But they got away from that. And I think that's why the game's a 5-point ball game when really it should be a lot higher because Ipswich haven't done a lot to disrupt Logan. Logan have kind of just fallen out of their stuff.
Yeah, 17-9 run to start the third for Ipswich, which is exactly what the local crew were after.
Championship quarter, that's it. Do you have to be in the lead in the championship quarter, or do you just have to win it?
Well, no, yeah, sorry.
No, you got it, Dave.
I was going to say, I always try and really preach that we just don't, you want to win it, but if you can tie it, and that's okay too, right, depending on what the score is, but you got to win the third. That's always a really big cultural thing is set the tone, close it out well. You always want to win the third.
Do either of you guys understand why James Legan's out of the game?
No.
He has been on fire. He's the only one who can score for your club. Man, I would not be taking him out at all right now.
Well, there's Cedar. He's going to heat.
Amar over to Salicic. Good look inside. Young had great position, and Kane Bishop's going to pick up a foul. I'm sorry, I think that's Kyle Harvey going to pick that one up. Let's see who they give it to. Now goes to Bishop.
I mean, they just need some real simple high-low with post beasting Harvey or Kane Bishop right now, whichever the mismatch is, and just simply pumping it inside. It's really that simple.
Well, I'm with you, and I think Ipswich are putting on this pressure to make it look like we put it on defense, but really they're not taking Logan out of their stuff. It's more of a containment press. If Logan can just come down and be calm, get a couple of ball reversals, be patient, Young or post inside are going to be open with a good seal, simply considering Kyle Harvey and Bishop are too small to match up with them.
Better selfie. We got to keep the selfie thing going. A lot of moisture out here tonight. I think a bit of the rain. It's still quite warm, though, isn't it? We usually come to Ipswich and we get frostbite on our nose. Tonight, it's a bit warm. I got my Still I Rise jumper on, the greatest jumper in the history of all jumpers.
Well,
that's an understatement, Johnny.
We've got the NBN the NBN road trip on. I mean, Toowoomba, Ipswich.
We're taking it to the people, fellas. That's what we do.
We'll get up to Townsville just to keep our northern cousins happy too one game, huh?
Yeah, we'd love to get up there. We'd love to cover every single QBL venue there is. We're slowly but surely taking them all off, I think, boys. We'll get there.
Johnny, if you're going to go ahead and mention Still I Rise, remind me the next time out to talk about the Still I Rise podcast. If you don't mind, I've got to plug it.
Of course. Wilson fading away. It's an air ball. Good defense there from Logan. Let's see if they can capitalize on the other end now.
Post, set that on ball and dive. Logan switched it. You got Ralph on your back.
Ralph kicks
throw
ahead.
Throw it down,
Bishop.
So
finishes with 2.
So Post set an on ball. Jason Ralph is on his back. Get down. Look at this.
Salicic.
They are just failing to recognize the mismatches, Logan. In a 5-point game, you've got to capitalize on those.
2 of 8, Salicic, he has been pretty cold.
Ralph misses the 3. That would have been a big one for Ipswich. They're down 5 with 3:10 to go.
If I don't get a good-looking high-low or a post-up or something here from Logan, I'll be really upset.
Here's the post action. Young kicks it to Salicic in the corner. Now Cedar, touch pass to Amar, 3 on the shot clock. Salicic has to get a shot off. He puts it up. Post catches, but they're gonna. What are they gonna call here? They're gonna call a foul or a shot clock violation?
No, shot clock. So back-to-back shot clock violations. I think a little bit of fatigue from both teams, and decision making has gone out the window.
Well, Legan's got to get back in the game right now.
Yes, Salicic is pump faking everything, and Ipswich is falling for it. They just got to do a better job of closing out and staying down. I mean,
and the scouting report would have shown, Dave, that the guy's 2 of 100 on the season, right?
Yeah.
So you got to know he's not confident.
Guys, Kyle Harvey, offensive rebound putback, cuts the lead to 3. It's only a 3-point game. Ipswich storming back into this one. There's the post touch. He misses the dunk. Our second missed dunk of the night.
I think that rim's got some wrapping on it or something, because we saw Dirksen do it.
Salicic 3 is off. Young
great
with a
rebound.
Great offensive rebound. He's fouled from behind. And that's going to stop the bleeding here for Logan. With about 2:10 to go in the third quarter.
Entering the game for Logan, number 9, Sean Carroll. And for Ipswich, number 5, James Ligon.
Yeah, thanks to Matty here. Third quarter, Ligon 3 of 4, 8 points, 2 of 3 from the 3-point arc. Gee, we got a new employee here. I got to say, with Matty Gaines checked in and running stats for us. This is nice, boys. Turnover by Logan, though. Ipswich has an opportunity to cut it to 1 or tie with a 3, and Ligon's back. Good look inside. Bishop wide open. He misses and can't tip it in. Ralph with another great no-look. And that hurts, boys. That hurts.
Yeah, that would have really sent the Ipswich crowd wild. And equally now, Carroll drives base for the kick. And Tommy's going to make him pay, I reckon.
It's off. Young, another offensive rebound. Put back and the foul. The foul on James Ligon. That's going to be his second personal. And Mitch Young going to have another opportunity at a 3-point play. Young absolutely dominating the glass in this one, guys. That's his 12th rebound, his 7th offensive.
And this is where Rob Manson's brain snap comes back to haunt you for Ipswich. Wouldn't it be nice to roll him out for a couple of minutes just to bang bodies with these guys from Logan who are getting the upper hand on the glass, which is really all that's keeping him in the game at the moment.
Young at the line for 1. Gee, guys, Mitch Young has been shooting extremely well from the free throw line tonight. Stats, look at him from the charity stripe. He's 11 of 15.
Well, we said that. We wanted to, you want to get him more free throws, and he's listened and he's done a great job.
Dirksen fading away. That's good. He's taking it to Mitch Young. He's not holding back. Carroll open for 3. He'll fire. It's off. Harvey comes down with it.
Yeah, good look, though.
Under a minute to go. 4-point game. Dirksen for 3. It's up. It's wet. It's a 1-point lead now with 45 to go in the third. Crowd's into it. I'm feeling it, boys. This one's going to be another tight finish. Cedar fouled there by Ligon. Ipswich in the penalty. That's going to send Cedar to the line for 2.
That's a foul. Number 5, James Ligon. Here's the bonus. 2 shots to number 24, Michael Cedar.
Got to give a shout out to our boy, Braden Hesselhurst, head coach of the Sunshine Coast Phoenix, checking in. Thanks for supporting us, Braden.
Get a win, bro. I know one's coming for you soon. Just keep chipping away. You'll be all right.
Dirksen
Get on
pump
the
fakes.
rim.
Then he travels. They're going to call him for the travel. So 25 seconds to go in the third. 2-point game here. Boys, talking about the championship quarter, it's now a 26-14 third quarter for the Ipswich Force. A lot of yapping going on there, giving James Legan a warning.
Well, see, I'm not a big fan of that sort of stuff. I mean, the referees take control. You either, it's just not good for the game, right? Yap, whinge.
James Legan knows that for whatever reason he gets all this credibility. They're not going to give him a tech in Ipswich in a 2-point ball game. So he's saying what he wants. That's ugly, fella. That just does not look good.
Carroll, touch pass to Young. He's fouled hard by Jason Ralph. They're going to make him earn it.
Yeah, good job from Carroll again. Just keep feeding Mitch Young. And again, good preparation from Young early.
He was
Mitch
ready
Young,
for
He
it.
had Ralph on his back and just held him there.
I think Mitch Young should buy Sean Carroll a birthday present, Christmas present, Valentine's Day card.
We have to wish Ipswich Force head coach Mick Conlon a belated birthday. It was his birthday yesterday. So happy birthday, Coach. Hope your team can get you the W tonight. You're trailing by 3 with 4 to go in the third.
Happy birthday, Mickey. And all he's got to do is give it to Mr. Dirksen or Mr. Legan, and he's a good show. 22 points for Legan, 15 for Josh Dirksen.
A good foul there by Carroll, knowing that his team has a few to give. It's only the second team foul of Logan.
Yeah, really smart foul.
They did a really good job, Ipswich, in this third.
Inbounds to Wilson. He's double teamed. Amar steals it, flips one up. It's no good. A lot of contact on that one. The crowd wanted a foul, but nonetheless, heading into the fourth quarter, it's a 3-point lead, fellas. 71-68 for Logan. Dan, quick thoughts on that third quarter action?
Well, it's a lot of action, that's for sure. We saw it all. Missed dunks, 3 balls, but I think whichever team can execute their stuff better is going to win the fourth quarter. Might sound obvious, but I just think Logan especially have to come out and get back to the first half where they knew who was going to get shots and how they wanted to get them to them. So we'll see what happens.
Dave, your quick thoughts?
Yeah, I think both teams really looking after the ball so far. 10 and 11 turnovers respectively. And there's no surprise that Ipswich did that in the third quarter, and that's why they put 26 points on the board with only 1 turnover for the quarter. So much of the same from Logan's point of view. It's really a 2-horse offense. You've got to key in and know what it is and take it away from them. So if they don't, if Logan can't do that, they deserve to lose.
All right, guys, quick timeout, and we'll come back with the final quarter action here. It's a 3-point lead for Logan, 71-68 over the Ipswich Force. We'll be back with you shortly here on QBL Basketball, presented to you by Nothing But Net Media and Live Sport Australia. All right, boys, back with you here. It's the fourth quarter. 71-68 the lead for the Logan Thunder over the Ipswich Force. Guys, it's going to be a real nail-biter here. Ipswich had the third quarter they needed. They couldn't get it tied. They were hanging around. Can they carry the momentum into the fourth? We're going to soon find out.
Well, it was very similar to the Cairns game they had last year, Johnny. And, Cairns, obviously, the eventual champions, and Ipswich took them right to the wire.
And great start to the fourth for Ipswich. They get the over and back. So they'll have an opportunity to cut it to 1 or tie it with a 3. Legan working on Cedar, gets in the paint, flips it up. It's no good. Tipped around, and Post comes down with it.
Oh, missed Tommy Amar cutting through the middle. But good patience.
Go get the ball off him and send him to the block.
There we go. There you go, Dan. Cedar going to fire a deep one. That's off. Dirksen with the board.
I don't get why he's just not burying Dirksen under the rim.
I don't get it either, and if he's happy to catch it a step off the post where he was standing, then I think he's missed the point.
Ralph hits the jumper. It's a 1-point lead. He saw the mismatch and drained it in the face of Keanu Post.
Well, look where Keanu Post is running. Like, step in right now and seal up Josh Dirksen and demand that rock. Like, you got to be a focus point for Logan, otherwise you guys are in trouble.
You saw Carroll call him out. Johns goes the baseline. His pass is tipped. Carroll recovers with 5. Now 3. He's going to have to get one off. Instead, he loses it out of bounds.
Well, a little bit too much dribble, but to Coach Rucker's defense, Salicic is struggling, so he's gone with Carroll.
And right away, Coach Rucker goes to Salicic and Mitch Young. A lot of contact on the floor. Going to give that one, looks like going to go against Sean Carroll, bodying up on Jason Ralph.
Well, I like what Logan's trying to do, Thunder, with the but the thing I don't like is it looks like the set they're running with that little big screen is a misdirection to get Cedar the ball top of the key. I want to see it just pumped into post until Ipswich makes a correction.
I agree with you, but I also think if they want to come down to post or to Young and go one pass post up, you're letting Ipswich get set to then run a quick double team. Get Mitch Young going to the block off movement. Set him off a back pick.
Wilson with the foul is going to go to the line, and Ipswich retakes the lead. And they did exactly what you were just saying. Move off the ball and get into the rim.
Well, and to finish that point, if I'm Logan, I mean, start Mitch Young on the opposite wing or do something else offensively. Come him off a back pick, let him down pick for someone and flush to the post so you can't double him.
Yeah.
I think they're coming down. He goes to the block. You go one pass post entry. The defense is set. You've got to make it easy for him to get looks. And if you can't create with the point guard, which they don't have, you've got to create by running different creative sets to get him on the move. Him and post both.
Wilson can't finish the three-point play, but Ipswich now has the lead, 72-71. Good ball movement here. Salicic picks up his dribble, goes inside to Young, double team, spins away from it, left-handed hook shot off. Good crossover from Eustace, finds an open Harvey in the corner, that's off. Offensive rebound though by Wilson.
Yeah, Wilson doing all the little things at the moment.
And Harvey can't finish, but he's fouled. He's going to go to the line for 2 shots. And all the momentum behind the Ipswich Force at the moment.
Yeah, a couple of defensive errors from Logan, really. It's just that simple. It's not like Ipswich is doing anything mind-blowing. The Logan boys are just losing their man, too busy ball watching, and then not boxing out.
But this is also where offensively I think they've got to come down and say, righto, you're on a run. We're going to make Ipswich play defense for 15 seconds. We're going to run 2 or 3 picks, 2 or 3 ball reversals, and take the air out of the crowd. Just grind Ipswich out. When we're up and down like we are now, that suits Ipswich perfectly.
Yeah.
So the first shot from Harvey was good. Second one as well. Now a 3-point lead for Ipswich. There's the entry pass inside post going at Kwan. He's fouled by James Kwan. Great position, good pass, good foul.
Well, it's the high-low we just asked for.
That's a good foul because you fouled him on the floor, but it's also Kwan's fault. So he's played well tonight, so he's got to be careful here.
Cedar fires another one, that's off. Kwan comes down with it. Now Eustace on Salicic. Kwan's going to fire a 3. That was rushed. And then Ben Wilson gets called for the foul, trying to tip the rebound out to a teammate.
Gee, Logan really has shot poorly. 37% from the floor. And again, it's around, that poise stuff we just talked about, Johnny. Just being set, established, knowing what you're going to get out of it. I think because they're moving the ball and making the extra pass, but just missing a lot of cheap ones.
Is that 5 or 27 from deep?
Yeah,
D-Love?
18%. They haven't shot the ball well all year from deep. I think 26% for the season so far.
And that's better action too. Tommy Amar sets a cross pick from Mitch Young.
He
but he's
better
got
hit that. Oh,
5 of 28 from downtown.
And
But they
again,
ran a good set.
there you go.
Knock it down, Tommy. There you
Tommy
go.
does, as Dan asked.
Mr. Reliable.
And we're tied at 74.
When they run
That's
a
a big
set,
bucket.
well, when they run a set like that for Mitch Young, they got him on the move. He's got to make a quick move.
Legan tries to answer. Quan offensive rebound and putback is good. So probably not the best shot there from Legan, but James Quan's got his back.
Ipswich really up and in defensively now as well. But see how Mitch Young wants to make that move with 3 or 4 dribbles?
Cedar open for 3. It's off. Amar with the putback. He's fouled.
I just think if we're going to run, I'm talking about Logan here. If they're going to run sets like that, you've got to catch it and make a move quickly. But, I mean, to Ipswich's credit, they're up and in, obviously taking Logan out of their stuff. So we've got a big 6 minutes coming up here.
Guys, I'm going to ask the question here, and I'm going to put the caveat. I'm a huge fan of Mick Cedar, but he has really, really struggled so far all season long trying to get his shot off. He's 2 of 11 from 3 tonight. How much longer does Coach Rucker stick with Cedar?
Well, you need him because you need his poise and you need his 6 rebounds and 5 assists as well. But if I'm Coach Rucker, I'd maybe try and get him into some more of that action coming off the screens, getting him coming off the picks and pin downs, because he's a really good decision maker with the ball. Not shooting the ball that well at the moment, but you need him in the game as a playmaker.
Well, to your question, Johnny, I think you'd ride him to the death. He's your guy. You have no choice. But I think he needs to try and get to the rim, maybe get himself to the foul line, get himself going that way.
Quan leaves his feet, leads to a Bishop 3 in the corner. It's way off. Ball knocked out of bounds off the hands of James Quan.
Legan came out on fire to start this half. Though he's been a little bit quiet. He's been stuck on 22 points for a while. I just get the feeling he's about to erupt for this Ipswich team.
Ipswich definitely engaged on the defensive end. Young skips it over to Salicic. I think they need to go back.
Well, you just saw a post feed into Young, and you had 4 white shirts.
There's the alley-oop. It's a good foul there by Legan.
And great play by Cedar too. Go ahead, D-Lo.
Yeah, you had Mitch Young draw the triple team, and you had no one moving, no one cutting. 4 white jerseys above the foul line. I mean, it's under 12s. Post feed equals dive, and so someone's got to dive the guards from somewhere, and you always get rewarded if that. So, they can't just watch Mitch Young and sit on the 3-point line and think it's a shooting practice.
I think I put the announcer's jinx on James Legan. I see he's about to go off and he got subbed out.
He did go off. He just went to the bench.
That's right. That's right. He literally went off. That's not what I meant.
Keanu Post at the line for 2 shots, his first 2 of the night. Hits them both.
Entering the game for Ipswich, number 33, Joshua Dirksen.
Dirksen back in. And if I'm Coach Conlon, I'm leaving Dirksen in the whole time.
But you can't come to Ipswich without hearing a bit of kung fu fighting, Johnny.
I gave them huge raps in the women's game. Their game has slipped in the men's. Dirksen comes off the bench firing. That's off. Tipped around. Young saves it.
Well, he's munching glass still. I think that's his 13th rebound.
Well, he's got a 30 and 15 night coming here.
Cedar loses the ball. Eustace comes up with it. 2-on-2. Eustace going to the rack, lays it up. That's a goaltend there from Keanu Post.
I just don't know what Mickey was doing.
Well, you can see him trying,
yeah.
and he knows his shot's not falling. He tried to get into the lane, turned it over, unfortunately. But
just keep it simple. Kick it around, and just simple motion is fine. Because Ipswich has been jumping all over the shop on pump fakes all night long.
He is a shooter. He's going to shoot.
Yeah.
Eventually, it's going to start to fall. That's for sure. Good skip pass. Amar in the corner for 3. It's up. It's good from Tommy Amar.
Good vision from Young too.
That's a great pass. It's been open all night.
I mean, and realistically, Logan have kept Ipswich in the game because of their horrible 3-point shooting. Because they've moved the ball and they've made the extra pass all night long unselfishly. They just haven't made shots.
Great pass there from Shelley inside to Wilson, who's fouled for 2. Nice creativity.
offense. Nice offense from Ipswich too.
Fouls on Logan, 55.
And it's an interesting lineup you have here. You've got Quan, who could put the ball in the bucket. Dirksen hasn't been hesitant. Wilson, who's pretty creative, but has been pretty quiet tonight. Eustace and Luke Shelley. So interesting lineup with 4:20 to go in the game.
When do you bring Ligon back in, fellas?
Now.
Two minutes ago.
I reckon you're resting him up. You're still one shot away from tying the game. So it's still quite close. Get him the minutes while you can, I think, because you know he's going to be there at the end.
Are you feeling Mick Collins' Twitter pressure in that reply?
No,
I'm
not really.
I'm just kidding.
Not at all. Coach Rucker is doing the same thing. He's going to steal a few minutes here for Tommy Amar. It's a close game.
Well, Tommy just picked up his 4th as well, and they need him in the game because he's their lone threat offensively from beyond the arc at the moment.
Wilson misses the first one.
Again, you know, the Cedars and Saliciches and Carrolls of the world, they've been around, so just because they haven't shot that well, I can guarantee one of them's going to hit a big shot in this last couple of minutes to either seal the deal or keep Logan in the game.
The other thing, to give Mick Collins credit, James Ligon does have 4 fouls too, so the last thing you want is for him to get a bit excited, and with 2 minutes left, he's out of the game.
Yeah, Kyle Harvey just checks back in for the Force. James Quan gets a breather. Carroll gets it to Young on the block. No double.
Nice.
Steps through. He's blocked, but they're going to call Harvey for the foul. The crowd doesn't like the call. I don't know if you do either, Dan.
Well, I don't know about that, but I like the quick move. Like Ipswich have done a pretty good job doubling down, but Mitch Young's taken 3, 4, 5 dribbles into the double team, catches it there on the move, like we said, makes a nice quick move, gets to the foul line. I don't know if there was much in it, though. Pretty good defense from Ipswich, but the quick move I do like if I'm Logan, but I like James Ligon back in the game too. Going to be a big finish here from both teams.
He's got to be careful. 4 minutes to go. Ligon's got 4.
Just with some quick math, our starting Thunder guards are 7 of 32.
Young continues.
Brutal, mate.
Young continues to do it from the charity stripe, though. 14 of 19 from the free throw line. Big man making you pay if you send them to the charity stripe. 83-79 the lead, guys. 4 points, 4 minutes to go. Here we go. Ligon with the ball. Gets inside, finds Harvey for 3. It's up and short.
Good D from Logan then.
Well, good D from Cedar, cutting off that left-hand dribble for James Ligon as well.
You work clock here if you're Logan.
If it means I run sets to get my main guys touches, yeah, I'll run clock, definitely.
Post.
That's
line.
not where Post should be living at the moment. I don't know what he's doing living at the foul line.
It's that high-low action. He has hit. We've seen him hit a couple of those, but that's probably not the shot you want.
Travel.
Dirksen up and under, lays it in. Dave, you wanted the travel, but that was a great finish from the big fella.
He took 7 steps, mate. I mean, he needs to be on Shackton a full auditions there. It was, wow. Don't know how anyone missed that.
Young waiting for the double. Here it comes. He hooks over. It's no good. Post offensive rebound. Misses. Can't get the tip. Young falls, though, and puts it back in.
I like what both teams are doing.
Well,
I like Logan punching inside, and I like Ipswich too, attacking off the dribble.
85-81. Coach Rucker riding his big men too.
Well, you need to go and you need to continue to smash it in. You've got Ligon foul trouble, Harvey foul trouble.
I'd try and run a bit of on-ball here if I was Ipswich as well. Maybe get any of them, James Ligon, Eustace, whoever, and get Josh Dirksen to set it, because Post ain't going to be able to show out too hard.
Here it comes. Just like you asked for, Thunder. There's the screen. Ligon pulls up for deep. It's off.
Well, I think you can get a better look than that. The fading 3 from 4 foot out.
He can hit it, but not that you'd like a better shot than that. Down 4 with 2:20 to go. Running now. Wilson with the head of steam goes right at the defense and lays it in.
He's played his role really well tonight, fellas. Just plays hard, active.
Well, equally, Salicic had good position. He needed to step up and take a charge. It was just one more foot, and again, do it for your team.
Guys, we're under 2. It's a 2-point game. Let's see what Logan can answer with. They need a bucket here.
God.
8 seconds on the shot clock. Cedar's going to settle for a 3. That's off. And Harvey with the rebound. Harvey gets it off his feet. Goes inside. Wilson missed. He was bothered there by Johns. Good contest there by Sam Johns.
It'll be really nice to see what they go to here with up 2. What's their go-to play?
Young on the block.
Poster's got to dive, mate. If Young gets doubled, like you said earlier, Double D, if Young's doubled, if I'm Poster, I'm running my head to the rim.
Oh, yeah.
3 on the shot clock. Selicic has to put one up. It's short. Tipped around. Wilson comes down with it. Under a minute now, boys. 2-point game. Eustace for 3. That's off.
Okay, Eustace. That's a dagger if he makes it, but damn, that's a big miss now. Mickey C's not too happy with it.
Mickey Conlon didn't like that one, but his team needs to stop here. Cedar going to work some clock. Dirksen going to show. I thought that they were looking for the double. Cedar picks up his dribble. He's in trouble. Fading away, rattles in and out. Posta with the tip. And then a timeout taken on the floor. Mick Conlon going to take the timeout. Mickey C wanted the foul call as Cedar used the body to create some space. That's a huge tip in there, though, from Keanu Post.
Well, I don't think it was the foul. I think he was unhappy for maybe a travel call, but maybe not.
Whatever he wanted, he didn't get. What does he go to here out of the timeout? It's got to be a look that involves James Lee. He might not shoot it, but he's got to be the decision maker here.
Well, let's talk about the foul situation, though, boys. Also, Ipswich in the penalty. Logan only with 4. Certainly got to recognize that and think that they're going to go to the hoop.
Yeah, I think so. And again, if I'm Coach Rucker, I'm just playing good, honest D, keep him out of the middle, and a good contest and rebound. We all know that it's going to be going through League and Dirksen as the 2 options.
You're down 4. Like if I'm coaching, it's dangerous to come out and take a 3.
3, yeah.
I want to get to the rim quick.
Yeah.
And then play good, honest defense. Don't foul. Give yourself the last possession of the game.
Yeah.
Gives James Legan a chance to bring the roof off this place
Just a simple,
in the last 5-10 seconds.
Just a simple punch screen, middle.
What's a punch screen? How long have you been playing basketball? I've never. Explain to me. What's a punch screen?
So we start low, like on the baseline. You just come in and it's flat, so the guard can go either direction, left or right. So they really
the screener has his back to the hoop. You're talking about.
Yeah. So basically, it's it's really big in the NBA and the world champs of late. That evolution of the big comes out, the 7-footer, and then the guards.
Have you been hanging out at Emus camps?
I have been actually. But
here we go.
Inbound to Eustace. Gets the screen from Dirksen. Good show there by Post.
Oh.
And there's the 5th foul on Logan. Coach Rucker didn't like that shot. It stops the clock and it sends Eustace to the free throw line for 2 shots.
A bit unlucky, I thought, but anyway.
I thought it was a great show. He held his spot.
Yeah.
They didn't call the initial contact. They called the secondary contact.
Maybe that was the call. That was the makeup that Mickey was asking for a minute ago. So Eustace will go to the line.
Yeah, Marr checks in for Sam Johns. Big free throws here for Jared Eustace on the night. He's 4 of 4. There's the broadcaster's jinx. I apologize to Jared Eustace and all the Ipswich Forest fans watching.
Well, it'll turn into a free throw-a-thon in the next 30 seconds, I'm thinking.
Sure can.
If he makes that, which he does, it's still a 1-possession game, fellas. So Ipswich just plays straight up, hard defense.
And Coach Rucker takes a timeout. Let's take one as well with 31 seconds to go in the game. It's a 3-point lead for the Logan Thunder over the Ipswich Force on QBL Basketball, presented to you by Nothing But Net Media and Live Sport Australia. back with you here on at Cotton On Foundation Stadium. It's a 3-point lead for Logan over Ipswich. Matty Gange with some numbers for us. James Legan has been held scoreless since the 26th minute. Mick Cedar doing a great job defensively, struggling on the offensive end, but really shutting down James Legan here from the third to the fourth quarter.
Well,
I think that's why you don't take him out when he's on fire in the third quarter. You just have to ride out the hot hand.
Cedar gets the ball. They're going to go straight up here is Ipswich. Ben Wilson with the assignment. They switch now. Eustace on Mick Cedar. 14 seconds. He's got plenty of time here. Now the big fella Quan switches out on Mick Cedar. Cedar looking to clear out. Step back jump shot. It's up. It's good from Mick Cedar. He's been quiet tonight, but he hits the big one when they need it as he shook James Quan out of his shoes.
Does that answer your question, Johnny, from earlier? How long do you stay with this guy?
Yeah, I'm glad he proved me wrong.
Well, we said it didn't matter what they were shooting as long as you hit the one you need to. And what I really liked was the execution and poise from Logan. They ran a couple of screens, good distraction, and then let Mick operate against the mismatch.
Well, he did not want to pass the ball.
No, he
For someone who's shooting so poorly this season, the game's on the line. You make it, it's over, pretty much.
Yep.
So for him to not want to pass it, that shows great poise. But still, Mickey Conlon and Ipswich, they've got a chance. 10 seconds left, it's a 5-point game.
Yep.
Crazy things have happened.
Well, they've got the guy to do it in Legan, so hopefully he comes in, bangs a three, see what happens.
Well, do they need a three at this point, boys? Yes? 10 seconds to go, down 5.
Yeah, if it's me, I'm going for a quick
yeah,
three in the next 2 or 3 seconds, and then you either make it or you're done. That's the night.
So, timeout advances the ball, though, right? So
Yep.
do you quick catch and shoot, you think, right off the out of bounds?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you're going to want to get the ball in Legan. I mean, I think, and if I'm Logan, anyone but him is touching the pill.
Well, I want a Legan definitely as the first and second and third option, and then the fourth option might be a Josh Dirksen three. But I want a 3-ball here.
And no foul.
There's the inbound to Legan at about half court. He got to step into a deep three. It's up. It's off.
See how different that looks going right, fellas? It's amazing to me how different that jump shot looks when he's dribbling with his right hand. It's a completely different look.
Well, Eustace got fouled, so he's going to go to the free throw line for 2 shots. So not the three-pointer that you were looking for, but they have an opportunity to get 2, and a quick foul sends Logan back to the line.
Yeah, still not over.
It's as close as it could be.
Yeah. You got to
without being.
You got to be positive.
Yeah. Eustace, though, that hurts. Misses the first one, and that almost seals it.
Yeah, now you're done. Good game of hoops tonight, though, out here at Ipswich. It was a really entertaining game.
Great game. They're going to have to foul here quickly. Coach Rucker going to take the timeout. Let's keep it here, though, Dan and Dave. You were just mentioning, great game. It's been a great both games. The women's game was pretty good. The men's game coming down right to the end. Ipswich fighting back. They got it. They were able to take the lead at one point. But Logan, credit to them, kept composure, went back to their bread and butter in the post, and that's what brought them back and is going to carry them to what we think is going to be a win.
I think one of the criticisms we've had of Logan in recent times is that they play 1 or 2 quarters like that, Johnny, and then they get away with it. But tonight, the periods where they did get away with it were only really short. And I think for the better part, they've stuck with their stuff and got through sets. And Ipswich have played well also, but Logan have just stayed to their structures a little bit better, I think, and that's why they're going to get a W tonight.
Well, their third wasn't great, and they hung tough in the fourth, and I think that they did enough. Again, coming back to our keys to the game, they had points in the paint. They got Mickey Cedar. They didn't get him going, but they got him the ball when they needed to, and he executed late.
And we talked about Coach Rucker shortening the leash and playing his big guys. He only went 7 deep. Keanu Post, 33 minutes. Mitch Young, nearly 40. Mick Cedar, 30 minutes. Salicic, 30. So,
well, and there's not too many times that his 3 guards are going to go whatever they did go, which was pretty awful. 5 of 8 of 37 for his starting 3 guards. They're not going to do that too many times, right? So, really good win.
This is the kind of game, too, that can really jumpstart Mick Cedar's season as well. The last possession, knocked down a couple of foul shots, takes a lot of confidence away from that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, fellas. He's still in a funk.
But nonetheless, Logan going to come away with their first win of the season. They removed the donut from next to their name. And Ipswich, they, in the process, hand Ipswich their first loss of the season. In the only game of the weekend, guys, we couldn't ask for a better game as the Logan Thunder pull away 89-85 for their first win of the season. Pretty good game here in Ipswich, fellas.
Yeah, terrific game of hoops. Really entertaining game. It's good back and forth. And both teams did their thing. It was great.
Guys, I'm going to put you on the spot because we haven't done this before. But, Dan, I'm going to ask you for your player of the game.
Oh, that's tough. I'm going to say Mitch Young. I just think he was a focus for them all night long. But they had a lot of contributors and a lot that didn't show up on the stat sheet either. I thought Tommy Marr was great for Logan tonight. I thought the way Post came out early and set the tone was great. Mick Cedar staying with it was great. But Mitch Young, to me, was the focus all night long, and he's the MVP.
Dave?
Yeah, easy. I mean, 26 and 16, and regardless of the stats, good post touches. He read the double team really well. He passed out well. If the Logan boys shot the ball better, it would have been a plus 30 game. That would have smoked them. So really good job from Young tonight. And Ipswich, you know, for most parts they were really good. The challenge, like we talked about a little bit, is Coach Conlon's rotations, and he's got capable guys. It's how do you fit them all in and keep them happy, and I think that's a challenge because Jason Ralph didn't play a whole lot tonight either. First game back, I know, but you know, Harvey didn't shoot the ball that well. Yeah, so it'll be a challenge for Conlon as the season goes through.
Well, I think if I'm Mickey Conlon, they went 11 deep tonight.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, fellas, I'm really sorry. You work really hard in practice. You're all good players, but we're trying to win a title at some stage in Ipswich. We're going to go 8 deep. And if you don't like it, you better bust your ass at practice. That's the answer. I don't think you can play 11 players in the QBL in a 40-minute game.
Yeah. Now you look at the Ipswich numbers. They shot 43% from the field, 32% from three. They were led, of course, by James Legan. Legan had 22 points. Really quiet night for Kyle Harvey, only with 9. Second leading scorer for Ipswich again was Josh Dirksen with 17. He had a quiet second half, though, and I think credit Logan's defense. They did a good job on Legan, and they changed things up and really forced someone else from Ipswich to step up, and no one did.
Well, Josh Dirksen had 3 rebounds, 0 on the offensive end. He's a legit 6'9", athletic. If he's for real, I mean, I remember being told once, a great rebounder gets a rebound every 2 minutes, a good rebounder 1 every 3. So if you're going to play 25 minutes, you need 7, 8 boards at least if you're going to be a competitive player at this level, let alone the next one.
You know, talking about the rotations for Coach Conlon too, Thunder, you know, Dirksen gets a plus 12 as one of the rare guys to get a positive plus minus tonight.
Yeah, and Legan plus 4.
Yeah, so you know that those 2 guys are going to play, and it's what are the key 4 other guys around them when they're on the court.
All right, guys, final thoughts before we wrap things up?
Just a quality QBL season, keeps getting better. I mean, a really good game tonight, and that obviously kickstarts Logan's season and brings Ipswich back to the pack a little bit, but I mean, both teams showed a lot of positive stuff, so I'm looking forward to next week and the week after that. It's just great basketball.
Dan, Dave?
No, yeah, good performance here from both crew, and next Sunday, Johnny, the Mackay boys are down at the Pirate Ship, right?
Yep, so we'll have the Mackay Meteorettes first up versus the Pirates women, followed by the Mackay Meteors versus the Southwest Metro Pirates. But, guys, that's going to wrap it up here from Ipswich. It's an 89-85 win for the Logan Thunder over the Ipswich Force. I want to thank Chris Sieber on the camera, Dan George and Dave Derwin on the commentary with me. And I also wanted to thank James Bowman down in Sydney with all his graphics work. I'm John Guarna. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in to another presentation of Queensland Basketball League QBL action here on Nothing But Net Media and Live Sport Australia.